Hello everybody. I did start this video a second ago, so I'm gonna kind of repeat what I said then because I deleted it, and yeah, I've been joined by my cat. But essentially, I'm really not one for people apologizing for what they look like, but I'm going to. Not that I think that anybody is upset by my appearance, but because I think it's a bit of an elephant in the room. This is going a bit crazy, and yeah, I just basically wanted to say I have my reasons for looking like this. One is because I don't feel good, don't feel well, but I will explain more. But also because today has been so incredibly stressful, which is why I don't feel well. And I wanted to make a video tonight rather than wait till tomorrow when I've made myself look a bit nicer, because at the end of the day, there's something about being real and being able to talk about my real experience that just looking at my cat in the background, there's something about that kind of helps me feel slightly more sane, which I know is not what this is giving, sane. So I'm kind of just showing you how it is. This is how I feel. I want to feel sane, so I'm gonna make a video looking like this. Hey, whatever floats your boat. So ironically, this, where I've got this banging headache, is actually the start of what I'm hoping to make, like the start of a small series of videos, or small videos that are about things that have really helped. And I want this video to basically be about the timeline of all the things I've done that have helped with my vestibular neuritis and vestibular migraine. For context, even though this is probably a ginormous overshare, I basically am going through a breakup, and like as in today, and I don't really know what to say other than that it's been a hard day, and a lot of that has been to do with worrying about the person, and it's just hard. It's hard, but yeah. So that's that. That is that. That is that. But that's just for context, because I kind of think the thing is that quite genuinely, when my symptoms are flaring, it genuinely is harder to think. And this is going to showcase that. But basically, in essence, my head is very, very painful as we speak, but like, in essence, I have been doing these things, some of the things I'm going to mention, I've been doing them, and they have been helping. They have been helping. They've definitely been helping, because I've been dogged with it. I've been going for it. I've had my routine. I've had it all set out, really going for it. And yes, boom, 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 boom. I'm like, yes. In the last 3-4 days, I've been like, oh, don't want to speak too soon, but I'm feeling like I'm mending. And then obviously today, having like a very acutely upsetting day, it brought on a migraine, a vestibular migraine, and I noticed it happen. And then with that, I was like, oh, will my vertigos come back? Like that vertigo that I physiotherapied myself out of has come back. And this evening I've just had a headache, basically, a horrible headache. But as with days where you have breakups, you don't necessarily eat correctly, you don't necessarily always eat, you don't necessarily always drink, which is what I've done. You don't necessarily take your medication, you don't necessarily do your physiotherapy. And you get a migraine and you feel really, really shit. So that is where I'm at. What an awful start to what I want to be a positive video, but I promise guys, I do want this to be a positive video, and I'm only being stubborn and recording it on a day when I feel shit because I'm like, this might cheer me up. So let's go. Let's actually look into this. Let's dive into this. If I'm really bad at explaining, it's because I'm just not on the ball. I'm really not feeling hot at all. At all. So this is the timeline. I'm actually going to try and go through it fairly quickly because there's quite a lot. And it's just for some context so that you can compare and see, has your experience been similar? Has it been really super different? If it's been similar and it helps you feel just a tad more sane, a tad less alone, great. And if it's been different for the better, I love to see it. If it's been different for the worst, then I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry because it's just shit. It is just shit. So if you've had vestibular neuritis or vestibular migraines and you're new to them, then there's definitely a huge moment of like, what the hell is going on in my life? What the hell has my life turned into? And just feeling really overwhelmed. I'm even going to try not to get myself emotional in this because it's going to make my headache worse. So I'm going to try not to get too emotive about the experience, honestly. So yes, it was emotional. The beginning was emotional and upsetting. So at that stage, I was trying to get as much kind of professional help as I could, and I saw my first private doctor. This was about a week after the vertigo starting. So I saw a private doctor, and she basically said, yeah, it doesn't sound like labyrinthitis, it sounds like vestibular neuritis and vestibular migraines. What I recommend you doing is all your classic lifestyle factors that are good for health in general. Just do all of them. Look after yourself, self-care, self-this, self-that, blah, blah, blah. You know, meditation, and I'll kind of get onto that. But what her kind of advice was to kind of do like incremental steps of getting back into life. So she was like, you know, try to get yourself back out first of all onto your own road, then maybe go down another bit more of the road, then maybe go to the park, or like then maybe then get in the car, maybe then at that point you can go to a shop because shops are quite difficult, maybe at which point you can take a trip with somebody to your work commute, then at which stage you might be better and it's time to get on the commute to work kind of idea, and you're sort of like back to normal. Her advice was like, don't rush it, don't freaking like go up to London or something like when you're not ready, because it will be such a horrible experience, you'll have a setback and you won't want to do it again. So good advice. And I just to say quickly about the meditation side of things, meditation, you know, the classic things that people suggest for stress, they can be really good. I find that for me personally, they are useful tools, but they are not useful for me when I'm suffering from acute stress, panic, crisis. They're not. Because quite often they require you to do body scans or focus on your breathing, and quite often if I'm kind of focusing on my breathing, it makes me associate breathing with going through a panicky time, and it just simply doesn't work for me, and I'll quite end up panicking while deep breathing or panicking while meditating, or just it just didn't work for me. It just didn't work for me. But if any of those things sound like things that would be beneficial to you, then absolutely do them. Absolutely give them a go. They didn't work for me for where I was personally at, and most likely, as I continue to get better, that is when I think I will start to want to do those things more. Weirdly, I think you almost have to be, I almost feel like you have to have the emotional capacity to do things like meditation. It's weird, but yeah. So I was trying the roads. I was trying going up and down my road. And every day I was going up and down it, and I was like, I still feel like I'm in a VR headset. So what's going on? So my panic continued, because I was like, I'm doing this. I'm doing this daily. And every single day I feel like I've got a VR headset on. And every single day I feel like I'm going to trip over something. Every single day shit looks weird. Like, it looks weird out there. Sorry, I'm going negative. Sorry. But I was hating it. So I was kind of doing that. This is a long timeline, so we will get to the positive bit. This was because this was one of the hardest times. I was at this point starting to take citalopram, which is an SSRI, and propranolol, which is a beta blocker. And the beta blocker I would take first thing every morning, because every morning I would panic. And the citalopram I took to kind of like reduce my depression, basically, in the end. And unfortunately, obviously, the citalopram can be one of those things where you feel worse before you feel better, and I pretty much did. I felt pretty mentally awful for the first month and a half. Was pretty like unrelenting with regards to my symptoms and my mental health. Throughout the whole entire process, which has been February, March, April, about 3 months at this point, throughout the entire process, I've been having my therapy with my therapist, who I basically always see, and of everything, he's been extremely consistent and brilliant, basically. He has never made me feel like I need to feel anything different to what I'm feeling. He's taken every single one of my symptoms seriously. He's never made me doubt what I'm going through. He's just stuck by me. And he's been fucking brilliant. He's helped me with setting new boundaries. He's helped me with problem solving. He's helped me to know my rights, my workers' rights. He's good. He's great. So yeah, shout out to him, really. Shout out. Seeing my best friend. Very, very helpful. Very, very helpful. Incredible woman. Gave me hope. And she always sticks by me, and she always gives me hope. Seeing my sister just is like a ray of sunshine. My sister is an absolute ray of sunshine. She deals with her own stuff, but whenever I see my sister, I just feel so happy. She's just such a lovely person, and she's one of the closest people to me, and I just feel so happy when I see her. And even on my worst days, seeing my sister has made me just turn into a silly child again, and just feel like, oh, I love you. You make my day. So seeing and hanging out with people that you love is really helpful. The small areas where you can get that joy, get it, girl. Going to the gym. I actually entirely missed out that I went for physiotherapy they kind of said to me, you need to like do some team sports, you need to like get out there, go to the gym, this and that, to get your serotonin levels up. And it's like, cool, yeah, cool. I feel drunk though. I feel drunk, acting like I'm drunk, acting like I'm drunk. So so that wasn't particularly helpful, but it did make me kind of like go to the gym. And so I went to the gym, and then the first like 3 sessions like just felt disgusting. I just felt horrible there. I felt quite panicky. I felt shit. I resented being there. When I went into the changing room, I was just like, fuck this shit. Just like, I can't fucking, I'm so disoriented. It was just awful. Hated that. Really hated that. And then I think I went to a session and it was like, it was decent. It was all right. Like, so I had a session that was decent. I think I then had a setback. Oh, just at this point, I was just up and down all over the place, basically. I started seeing an osteopath who kind of like told me that one of my sides was a bit like more like tense than the other or something, and would kind of like do some like manipulations on my neck. It was nice. He was really nice. He kind of took my problems really seriously. He was very respectful. He wasn't patronizing at all. Yeah, I just felt like he was really decent, to be honest. That was kind of that, but I don't know if it helped or not. I don't really honestly know. What did happen after the second osteopathy appointment was I went and then I developed a really super bad neck pain. And I don't know, it is hard for me to know, because at this point I still didn't fully grasp whether I was experiencing migraines or not, because one consultant had told me I was, another GP had told me let's not think about that. So I kind of put migraines to the back of my head, but I got this like searing pain down my neck and in the like base of my skull, and it fucking hurt for about a week. Like really painful, combined with vertigo. And that whole time I was like, oh God, was this the osteopathy? So I didn't know, but the thing is, I think it could have been a vestibular migraine. I don't know. I really don't know what was happening there. So in terms of the osteopathy, I'm kind of inconclusive. I enjoyed it, but I was kind of, then I was like, oh gosh, what's going on with my neck? And I still don't know what happened with my neck. I don't know if it was a migraine, because at that point I was not treating them. No idea. Yeah, I was also dating at this point, and it really helped. Like it really, I felt my vertigo the whole time. But me and my date would do physio together, and it was like really helpful. It made me kind of like spurred on to get out and do physio, and gave me sort of a reason to leave the house where I had really not really wanted to leave the house. My symptoms were like glaring, awful. Everything we did, I felt awful. Like every single event, every shop we went into, I felt dizzy and drunk. But I kind of was like, I've got a companion with me, so it's cool. That was basically what didn't work out when we're not together anymore. So that's also hard, because I kind of have associations of that person being part of my healing journey. So it kind of feels like I'm losing that, but at the same time, it's something I had to do, basically, just for myself. I just needed to. I went for a hearing test, and it was the audiologist there who basically said to me, your hearing's absolutely fine, so you won't be going on steroids. And I was like, okay, doctor, that's cool, but like, what the fuck can I do for this? This is awful. And I felt like I'd had so many sort of heartbreaking moments. No, sorry, I skipped a step. So between the osteopathy, starting to date somebody new, I had a consultation which was a bit of a nightmare. He told me everything that I needed to know. He told me about my, I guess, the prognosis, but the whole consultation was so extremely upsetting. He was kind of telling me the things I would need to do. He gave me a letter. He talked about medications. He talked about physio. But my brain was fried at this point, and I was really overwhelmed and not in a very good way. So it was quite hard to make sense of it. Then I saw the audiologist. When I said to the audiologist, "Doctor, what can I do? What can I do for this?" And he was like, "Physiotherapy." And I was like, "Okay, how long do I need to do it for?" And he was like, 3 to 5 months. 3 to 5 months. It's going to take you a long time. And I was like, 3 to 5 months. It felt like one of the worst things I could have heard. And weirdly, it's actually been one of the best things I could have heard in hindsight, because it totally calmed me down. It took me a couple of days. I had to sit with my notebook and be like, make a fucking action plan, figure out how the frick you're going to get yourself better. How the frick are you going to do this physio? What physio are you actually going to do? When are you going to do it? How are you going to do it? What obstacles are there to doing it? What are we going to do? How are we going to do this? So I sat with my notebook, figured it out, planned, replanned. I really had to, and this with a foggy brain, oh my God, so hard. so hard. But got there in the end and made myself a physio plan. So that was amazing. And I've been doing the physio. I've been doing it. I've got my own plan. I got given leaflets. The exercises I've been doing, I think, are called the Cawthorne-Cooksey, almost said something else, the Cawthorne-Cooksey exercises. So if you can find them online, have a look if you're interested. Also, by the way, speak to your doctor first, actually. Don't do just random stuff that I'm mentioning. But yeah, that's what I've been doing. Cawthorne-Cooksey. But yes, please don't do physio that I'm suggesting. You can look into it, but ultimately, get it prescribed, get it specifically prescribed for you or whatever. And yes, so these are the main things that have helped me over this long, considering this is meant to be I've lost something. Considering this is meant to be a positive video, I feel like I've moaned a lot, and I'm so sorry. It's just because I'm not feeling 100%, but this is where we get to the good bit. I really have gained a lot from doing my physiotherapy. My physiotherapy has really helped my vertigo. I'm having a relapse today because I got really stressed and I've got a migraine. But the physiotherapy has really super helped. And this is also going to help me understand and learn whether a relapse means that it takes months to undo, or whether it takes a day or two to undo, or whether it's, I don't know, but we'll learn that together. Something else I found, and I still don't know if it's good or not, I still don't know, but I found it quite comforting to listen to, is a podcast called The Cure for Chronic Pain, and by this lady called Nicole Sachs. Now, I can't speak for whether it works, her work. I can't speak for that because I'm still here. I'm still not well. But I'm listening. I'm listening. she has this theory or hypothesis that chronic pain is kind of kept chronic by kind of like repressed emotions, and that the more that you let your emotions out, the more you sort of allow chronic pain to not become so chronic. There's more to it than that, so listen to it through her words, but also don't take her word for it. Don't take it as gospel, because at the end of the day, I don't know if she's talking shit or not. I don't actually know, but it has kind of offered me some comfort, but I don't know. But what I have been doing as a result of it is I've been doing this like kind of daily journaling where you kind of are encouraged to like rage into a journal for 20 minutes every day. Apparently it's really good for you, but we'll see. So I've been doing that. Yeah, with regards to physio, some of my tips are plan it, because you don't know what obstacles are going to be in the way for you. For me, it's about, for the longest time, for the first month, I was like, I'm so embarrassed. I just felt so embarrassed. I didn't want to go out on my road and do physio because my neighbours are all there. I look like a weirdo. I don't want them to come up and talk to me. I'm acting weird. They're going to think, what the hell is wrong with her? So I felt like super embarrassed. So that kind of was a big obstacle for me. Figure out what your own personal obstacles are to you doing the physiotherapy, unless you don't have any obstacles. But like, if there's anything that makes you feel uncomfortable physically or mentally about the physiotherapy, sit down, plan it, replan it, figure out what you can do, like hone in on the issues, hone in on what they are, and then go from there. Like, for me, it took me ages, months to suddenly go, Dad, do this physiotherapy with me, because I don't want anybody to ask me questions, and I need an advocate with me while I'm out doing my physio, in case somebody makes a weird comment, or in case somebody, you know, I will just feel more mentally comfortable if I've got you with me. So like, it took me ages to figure out that was what I needed. Ages to figure that out. But yes, sit, plan and replan. Like, it's all good and well for somebody to say to you, go to the gym, do your physio, but you don't know what kind of issues are going to come up along the way that actually make it really difficult and quite like discouraging to do. So sit, think about it. That would be my first thing, is like, take stock. Any obstacles that you can think of that get in your way of doing the physio or make it harder for you to do the physio, note them down, and there will be an answer for every problem you can identify. There will be either something you can Google to help it, or something that you can think of yourself that will help you. Just make sure that you do that problem solving around it, so that you can do your physio, because your physio is the answer. Or at least I think. Also, make it fun if you can. Play games. You can play games while you're doing this physio. You can do slaloms. Well, I've been doing slaloms, skittles. Those are some of the ones I've been recommended. You could even go bowling. You know, like, there's all kinds of like physical activities you can do as part of your physiotherapy. Although I'm not going to lie, when you're feeling ill, it doesn't feel nice. But like, make aspects of it fun. If you find yourself feeling a bit scared while you're doing it, that's a small moment where you might be able to make aspects of it fun. I noticed that when I went through door frames, it felt really horrible. It felt like I was like super in a VR headset thing. So I found myself like walking really slow through them. And then I was like, right, no, I need to walk quickly through these. I need to really stimulate the vertigo. I need the vertigo to feel like really bad and that kind of thing. Obviously not so bad, but you know what I mean. If you know, you know. Like, I need to feel it to get over it. So I was like, right, okay, in that case, I'm gonna charge through the doors. I'm gonna pretend I'm an angry mum chasing after a toddler. So I would kind of stand there like this and kind of quickly go through it. And what it did was, it, at the very least, it took away the fear from the door frames looking weird, and it just made me feel a bit silly for a moment. It's only a small thing, but it's something. Like, when you feel dizzy and drunk, like I do right now, it comes and goes, but like right now, it's such an unsettling feeling. There's so many moments where you can feel scared with it. So in that sense, if you can make it silly, if you can make it lighthearted, give that a go. It's not going to work 100% of the time. And I also found a really lovely lady on YouTube called Lindsay. It looks like she hasn't made videos for years, but this lady called Lindsay, if you just type in Lindsay Vestibular Neuritis, she shares her journey in a far more positive way than I do. And her video gave me hope. It really gave me hope. And honestly, watching her video is partly why I think I've been feeling so much better over the last 3 days. And again, as I said, this is because of like an acute stress. So what I also liked about Lindsay is, despite the fact that she's such a confident, positive woman in her videos, is that she said that she cried a lot through her vestibular neuritis journey. And I've also cried a lot, and let yourself cry. Don't feel bad about it. Don't let any doctors tell you that you should be less stressed. It's fucking stressful. It's fucking stressful. And they would be stressed. They'd be stressed. Let yourself cry. Let yourself cry. And then do something that makes you feel a bit better. So finally, when I was kind of like coming to terms with my citalopram, my propranolol, my magnesium supplements, like a couple of things, I was like, I'm doing so shit at taking these because I can't remember to do it. So I bought myself a beautiful pill box, or a beautiful thing of pills, pill things. So like, for example, this is one for like Saturday, and then it's got like morning, noon, evening, and bed. And I actually had like a lot of fun filling it, and it kind of makes me happy. It's cute, you know, that there are like little things that like, and it also made me feel like, yeah, I've got this. Like, I'm not going to forget my medication. I've got this. I know what medication I need to take. I'm going to go and do my physio. I'm going to take my medication. I'm going to go do my physio. It just starts to make me feel a bit more in control. So, my guys and girls and everybody, that is it. I wish this had been a bit more aesthetically pleasing, and I wish this had been a bit more less rambly and moany as all my other videos are, but I want it to be real, and I want it to be also kind of showing something in real time. And I also don't mind to show it on a day where I'm feeling a bit ill, but hopefully my next video will see that it's actually possible to get over a relapse or a stress-induced fucking migraine. So I am wishing all my love to everybody, and let's hope for better days around the corner.